Hey everybody, welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Feel Good Friday on the Friday the 17th of January. How are you doing? I am wanting to talk to you a little bit today about how do you hang on to feel good, to really good feelings. Last Saturday, as some of you might know, I was able to celebrate at my first ordination. There was a man, Tim, he was a deacon in the church, and he was called to be a priest and in a very particular congregation at McGregor and Austin. And I was the bishop who had the privilege of ordaining him to be a priest in the Anglican Church of Canada. And I have been sort of walking on air ever since then. There have been lots of hiccups during the week, lots of frustrating things, but at the end of the day I keep coming back to wow, how incredible was it to do that? It reminded me of when I was ordained a priest, and one of the things I got to do is we traced the sign of the cross on the palms of a new priest. And for me, I remember I was only the second set of priests in my diocese in Huron when that had come back. It had not been a part of the service for a long time, and they brought it back and they did the anointing. And I remember it was the 7th of December, 1999, and it was a miserable, miserable night. Lots of wind and snow and freezing rain and the works. I was sick as a dog, had a fever of over 103, and I went up to be ordained and vested with my stole and my chasuble, and I placed my hands before the bishop. It was Archbishop Percy O'Driscoll, and he traced the sign of the cross on both of my palms with oil, with holy oil. And I could feel it. For a full week, I could feel the sign of the cross on my hands. It was absolutely, absolutely incredible. I could not explain it. I still can't explain it. And as I'm talking about it, I can feel that sign of the cross on my hands. And when I had the privilege last Saturday of tracing the sign of the cross on Tim's palms, it brought me right back to my own priesting. That moment when Percy O'Driscoll traced the sign of the cross on my hands. Now for me, that has been a massive, huge thing. I don't know what it would be for Tim. He'll have his own things that were from the ordination that will live with him for the rest of his life. But for me, it was that, and it was that very, very real presence and reminder that wherever I go, wherever I reach out, I am reaching out in the name of Christ. And on that night, that I think was a Tuesday night in 1999, in December of 1999, on that night, I was feeling so called to serve God, to go out into the world to serve Jesus Christ in whomever I met. Now, I've had my moments, my ups and downs, and my seasons of, am I really called to this and all that stuff? But in the end, that calling, that signing of the cross on both my hands, was a reminder to me that whose I am. I am God's. I am Christ's own. And I am called to go out and love people as Christ has loved me. I have been anointed to go and do this for other people. And even in the really difficult times, that need to love other people has never gone away. Even when I have trouble loving myself, the need to love other people has never gone away. And so for me, that sign of the cross was huge. And I've been holding it in my heart and in my mind ever since last Saturday, when just almost a week ago, when I had the privilege of sharing in that ministry with Father Tim. It was a very powerful moment. And I keep thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if we could bottle those feelings, those moments? Maybe it was the first time you held your child, or when you proposed to your spouse, or the first time you got your paycheck, or whatever it is that you look back on your life and say, you know what, in that moment, yeah, absolutely, in that moment. That was the highlight of my life thus far. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could bottle that feeling, if we could carry it around with us and hang on to it whenever we get depressed or down, whip it out and take a little whiff of it and come back to our senses and feel really good? Wouldn't that be amazing? But what if we can? What if it's not that hard. I know there are many of you out there who are really struggling, whether it is because the season and it's so dark and cold, the days are still really, really short. It could be because your work isn't going the way you need it to, or maybe your health isn't great. Maybe you're battling depression, or you've lost a loved one, or you're feeling alone and lonely. The truth is that those moments that make us feel so good, those moments that we want to hang on to, we want to whip out and remember them and hold them in our hands and sniff them and take that in, like all those memories, they're there. They are within you. They are within your heart. It's a matter of really, I think, taking a deep breath and saying, I have had that moment. Now, I know, I know whereof I speak when I say to you, there have been moments in the past 25 years, there have been days, weeks, months, even seasons in the past 25 years, when if future Rachel had come to present Rachel in that time and said, have no fear, you will be able to have that feeling back again, I would have laughed her out of the room. How dare you tell me I could feel that good again? But the truth is, it's always been within me. No one can steal the memory of goodness out of my soul. They can bury it deep down. Life can pile on and push it down. But the truth is, the glow of that feeling, that beauty, that love, that whatever it is that fills us up, it's still within us. It really is. And I know I've said this before, and I know I'll say it again, but it's like that candle. When you're in a dark room and you light a match, you light a candle, it pushes the darkness away. No matter how dark it might be, it cannot put out the light. And when we allow ourselves, especially in those seasons of darkness, when we allow ourselves to just to close our eyes and think, I'm good. I know it's going to be hard, and I know that I can't remember it, but I know somewhere deep down inside I remember when. And even if it's just for a flicker of a moment, to bring back that feeling, it won't be put out again. And again, keep going back to that moment. Light another candle until you discover over time that you're feeling good. Feeling good does not have to mean you're ecstatic. You're bouncing off the rooftops. You're skipping like Dick Van Dyke down across the rooftops in Mary Poppins. Feeling good can simply be noticing the scent of spring in the air, hearing a bird chirping or a baby laughing. Could just simply be that sweet, delicious first taste of coffee in the morning, or that moment when you're about to fall asleep and you know you've had a good day and you're tired and you're going to enter into a quick rest. The feel-good moments don't have to be massive. They just have to be noticed. So whether you've had a big thing like I've had about feeling that cross, because right now as I'm thinking about it, I can feel that cross on my hand. I don't always, but right now I can. Whether it's something that you carry with you all the time like this, or something that you might have to go looking for a little bit, go for it. Do the work of finding the good. Because when you find that little bit of good, you'll start recognizing that there's a whole lot more good there as well. So that's your homework for the weekend. Find the good. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you. I will see you again tomorrow for church. I will see you Monday for Church at Home with Rachael. And I will see you on Sunday for Gospel on the Go. God bless.